Hey, beautiful soul. Welcome back to the Emily the Mystic channel. I am so excited for this week's video because it's going to be a little bit different than my normal videos. I felt really called today to just sit down, have a cup of tea with you, and go into what my routine looks like right now, what I'm doing for self-care, what I'm doing to support myself, and make sure that I am beginning my day from a place of joy, and also how I am keeping up with my spiritual hygiene, my routines and rituals, because I know sometimes it can just help, especially if you feel like my routine's a little bit crunchy right now, it's not feeling super good, or it's not really feeling supportive of me. I know it can be helpful to just get ideas from somebody else who has a similar mindset to you, who is living a life, maybe perhaps a lifestyle that you would like to be living, or that is just somebody who's similar to you who gets you, so that maybe you can make some small changes in your day-to-day routines and start to feel a bit better. Because for us here in the United States and everyone in the Northern Hemisphere, it's the spring season. So it's a really great time for some spring cleaning and making changes to your life that feel good, that feel nourishing, that kind of get you out of your comfort zone a little bit. I know for me personally, sometimes it can be the smallest shifts that I make for myself that really kind of put me on a new timeline, per se, a new trajectory that help me to feel like a new person. And that coming from that fresh energy can make all of the difference when it comes to your own day-to-day life. So I hope that what I share here with you today can inspire you to make some positive changes in your life. So let's get into it. If you're new here, I'll just take a quick moment to introduce myself. My name is Emily, also known as Emily the Mystic, and I'm an Akashic Records expert, practitioner, and teacher, and a galactic channel. And my whole channel is all about living a cosmically inspired lifestyle to help you go deep into your spirituality and live a life that is going to be from a place of being in a high vibration. And so, of course, I feel like the content of today's video is really going to help you do just that. Make sure to like this video if it's helpful for you, subscribe to my channel, and hit that bell notification so that you can be notified whenever I post a new video. And comment below what resonated with you from this. I hope that you have some takeaways from what I'm about to share. So let's get into it. Let's break it down from what does Emily's day-to-day look like. I am a full-time spiritual business owner, so what you see here on my YouTube channel, this is me. I don't have another job or, of course I have normal human responsibilities, but this is the bulk of what I do, so I have to really keep myself in a high vibration and have to have routines and rituals that support me in doing that. So for those of you who are fellow spiritual business owners or who are wanting to be on a similar path or just live a more high vibrational lifestyle, again, you're really going to need to have practices and some semblance of a routine that's going to really just help create a container of safety for you on a day-to-day basis. And trust me, I am all for being really intuitive with life. I am a super intuitive person. I'm also all about being in my divine feminine energy. So when we're talking about that, we're talking about being open to flow and, open to surrender and surrendering to how the day is going to unfold and all of those sorts of things. But I also find for myself that I need to have a little bit of structure when it comes to my day and my week in order to really feel like I can have a safe place to land when it comes to my own human needs, my emotional needs, my spiritual needs, etc. I want to make sure that those needs are getting met. And when they are, I feel better. I feel better internally. I help my clients perhaps in a deeper, more supportive way. And it's just really, good for me to have more structure because it helps me, again, have that safe container. So I don't want you to look at having set practices or rituals as something that's going to push away your intuition or that's going to be too much or too much rigidity, too much structure. Because truly, when I am in my spiritual discipline energy, when I am doing my practices, I feel so much better. And I know my clients feel so much better. I also really felt called to film this video because I work with a lot of people who, and from what I have sort of witnessed, and I know this is true for a lot of us as human beings, sometimes for those of us who seek freedom and independence, we can kind of push against having a routine or structure in our lives because it reminds us of having controlling parents or controlling school system or having people tell us what to do when we were kids. And so for some of us, we can really want to push away the practices and the rituals and the routines because the rigidity reminds us of our childhood and our past, and we don't like that. So we'd rather just go with the flow and, let everything unfold because that seems to be more comfortable. In reality, we are in control of our own lives, and you may be doing yourself a disservice if you are not creating some structure, some practices and rituals for yourself that are actually for you. All of this is for you. I'm not here telling you what to do. Trust me, I am not attached to what you do when it comes to your routine. And again, this video is being filmed for you. I want you to take from this what's going to be helpful for you. And if you are someone who has gotten totally out of the routine, not doing any of your practices, perhaps you found this video for a reason. I know a lot of my clients get to a place where they're like, I don't want to do any of the practices. I'm not interested. I just want to, live my third dimensional human life. And it's okay to be there if you're there. And also, this video may be calling you home to yourself again and to your practices again. And trust me, I am telling myself this too, because I'm not perfect by any means. And I know for myself that if I get off track or if I travel or have big things come up in my life and everything sort of falls by the wayside, we kind of develop that perfectionist all or nothing mindset where we're either going to do all of it or we're going to do none of it. And usually we're going to do none of it. And that's sort of the easier route to take, right? So if that's kind of the place you're in right now, trust me, I have been there, and I'm telling myself this too. There are things that I want to start doing that I'm about to tell you about that have really been helpful for me in the past. And I know when I do these things, they help me feel better. So with all of that in mind, kind of let's get into sort of what I do and what routines and rituals and practices support me and help me feel the best. I am also filming this video right before the Scorpio full moon, and this full moon is really deep. There's a lot of depth there, maybe very emotional for some of you. This video will be coming out a couple of days after the full moon is over, but you may still be feeling some of the effects of it. But whenever this video finds you, of course, it's divine timing. I just want to say that if you are experiencing some heavy emotions or there's a lot coming up for you, having practices to return to daily can really help support you in however you're feeling right now, okay? So I'm going to have a sip of my tea. So let's talk about how I begin my day. So I, first of all, prioritize sleep really above everything else. Sleep is so key, is so important, is so essential. I need a lot of sleep in order to feel my best. I've been that way since I was a child. So I do my best to get to bed at a good time so that I can get up at a good time and feel good. I don't get up super early in the morning. I am not a morning person, and I feel called to tell you that because some of you may not be morning people. So this video is not a let's get up at 5 a.m. and do all of our spiritual practices video. No, I usually get up between 8 and 8:30, sometimes closer to 9 if I need some extra sleep. So you may need to sit with your schedule and is it possible for me to get up super early and tackle everything? Or maybe I need to set my alarm a little bit earlier just to make time for some of the practices that Emily's about to share with me so that I can start my day off in a better way. So once I've gotten out of bed, one of the biggest things that has helped me, and trust me, I am not perfect with this, but I try to do this 90% of the time, is to avoid looking at my phone first thing in the morning. Usually I get right out of bed, I check the time on my phone, but that's it. I'm not looking at messages, I'm not looking at emails, I am not scrolling social media. So when I am getting up and out of bed, I am in my own pure energy. I'm not worried about what other people need from me. I am not worried about what business emails are in my inbox. I am not worried about what other people are doing on social media. I'm focused on me. So that really sets my day off in a positive tone because I am beginning my day unaffected by anybody else's stuff, anybody else's drama, other people's intentions, etc. I am in my own pure energy frequency. I also want to say too, for those of you who are watching this so that you know a little bit about me and my lifestyle, I am in a long-term relationship, but I am not married and I don't have kids. I also don't have any pets right now. That may change in the future, but as of right now, I am responsible for taking care of me and my plants. So I have the luxury of being able, again, to sleep in a little bit later and also to avoid checking my messages first thing in the morning. And also not caretaking and taking care of other people. That's just where I'm at right now. So you may need to kind of modify what I'm sharing with you in accordance of what is going on in your own life. So with all that being said, I get out of bed, I don't check my phone, and I try to keep it that way for a good portion of my morning routine. I get up, do my bathroom routine, etc. I make myself a cup of tea. I actually let go of drinking daily coffee. I want to say 2 years ago, at least a year and a half ago, because coffee really was upsetting to my digestive system, just didn't make me feel good. It was really hard to let go of it and definitely went through a lot of a caffeine withdrawal with that in mind. But now that I drink tea daily, I feel so much better. It helps my stomach. I just feel better in general. So I usually drink a cup in the morning, sometimes a cup in the afternoon, like I'm doing right now, filming this video. But overall, I make my cup of tea first thing. If I have remembered to go to the grocery store to buy it, I also love drinking a glass of coconut water first thing in the morning, a little bit of lime juice, just a little bit of lime juice. And that glass of coconut water is super hydrating. It also helps me wake up and helps me feel good to start my day. If you don't have coconut water on hand, highly recommend just having glass of water at least to start your day, because getting hydrated, I know we talk about this all the time in health and fitness, spiritual, intuitive community, but getting enough hydration can also just help you feel so much better. So I have my hydration, I have my cup of tea, which is a little bit of a ritual for me. And then I do some of my morning practices before I go on and out with the rest of my day. I also find that it's helpful for me to get me out of bed to do some sort of chore first thing in the morning, whether that be, of course, making my bed, but also laundry, the dishwasher, unloading the dishwasher is what I'm trying to say. And when I am doing these little chores, whether it's cleaning up or folding or whatever it is, I feel like I've accomplished something. And I feel like that starts my day off on a really positive note because I've already committed to doing something, I've taken action on something, and then I can move forward with the rest of my day knowing that that's complete. So from there, I go on to do my spiritual morning practices. I always stretch first thing in the morning. Stretching helps me ground into my body to start the day. When you are asleep at night, your body is traveling the astral realms. When you wake up, you are sort of half in and half out of your body. To get fully into the body to start the day, stretch. Don't look at your phone, because most of you are looking at your phone. When you first wake up in the morning, you're not stretching, you're not getting into the body. So you're starting your day from your head. And you're starting your day from a probably very dysregulated, sort of discombobulated nervous system, because you get on your phone, you see all this stuff from other people, and automatically you're in this sort of tense state, right? So for me, gentle. I'm out of bed, not on my phone, gently stretching. In this very sort of relaxed energy, I've got my tea. It feels so good, right? It feels so open. It feels so expansive. And in those quiet moments, I start to connect with my spirit team. I start to open myself up energetically. I'm just gently doing some stretches, stretching my hamstrings, stretching my quads, stretching my calves, stretching my glutes, everything. And that really helps me, again, to start to open up the body, open up my energy. After I've stretched, I set the intention to call in my spirit team for the day. So I say out loud, I call in my spirit guide team for the day. Please be present with me today. And then I do a really quick cleansing ritual, which I'm going to take you through right now that takes 2 seconds that you're going to love. So all you do is you close your eyes and you say out loud, I call God Source into my body now. And I ask that God Source remove any energies that are not in alignment with me, any lower vibrational or negative energies. Please let them go. And then you're going to take some time to shake your body as viciously as you can in order to get it all out. You're going to find yourself shaking a lot, and then you'll start to feel a bit better, right? So after you call God into your body, you shake out what's not your own, then you're going to call in what I call a white force field shield of light. This white force field shield is impenetrable to any malevolent energy of any kind from other people, negative energy that has been projected towards you, jealous energy, envious energy from other people. Anything that is not for your highest good, we're keeping it out. This white force field shield has a mirror coating on the outside, so it reflects back to anything negative that is being sent your way. So I close my eyes again after I've done my clearing ritual, and I say, I call in a white force field shield of light, and I visualize that force field shield coming around my entire body. However it shows up for you, strong, thick, impenetrable. I want you to really visualize it. I want you to really feel it kind of opening up around you, all right? You can take a couple of deep breaths. And now you know that you're safe and protected to start your day, and your energy is clear, right? Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Now, the next piece that I like to do is I like to set an intention for myself for the day ahead. What would I like to receive, feel, accomplish during the course of the day? Now, you can do this by setting an intention for yourself and writing it down in a journal. Or what I also like to do that I've been doing recently is I like to pull a tarot card for myself for the day. And when I pull that card, I set the intention to ask, what is the overall energy of the day today? That acts as my intention. And when I pull a card, I reflect on the card and the meaning that it has for me. Sometimes it's immediately clear. Sometimes I need to go throughout the course of my day for it to sort of unfold, for me to understand what needed to occur that day or shift or unfold. And I also take a little bit of time to reflect on the day before. What did the day before look like? I have a really awesome journal. I will leave the link for it below in the show notes from Ritual, spelled W-R-I-T-U-A-L. This is a tarot journal that keeps track of your daily card pulls, as well as any cards that you pull for yourself for the new moons, the full moons, and the month ahead. I cannot recommend this journal enough. I'm not affiliated with them, but I love mine so much. I started using it at the beginning of this year, and it keeps track of my day to day. So I pull a card for myself, and I write down what the card means to me, as well as what I did the day before, so that I can keep kind of a record of what each card means and what happened the day before, so that I can continue to build my own relationship with the tarot deck. You could also use it with any oracle cards if you're more drawn to oracle than tarot. You also don't need to have this special journal, but I know we kind of like having a journal of sorts that's more clearly defined. But you can also just do this in a normal notebook. Just pull a card for yourself for the day, write down what the card means to you, and write down your reflection from the day before and how that's going to help you with your day that you're going to go forth and enjoy, as well as any intentions that you have for yourself for the day. I find that this practice really helps me get organized. It just takes a couple of minutes. By the way, everything we've done so far literally will take you 10 to 15 minutes. It's not complicated. It's not long. It may sound complicated, but once you get in the routine of it, it's quick, it's short, it's simple. I also love to take a few moments after I have cleared my energy and protected my energy to open my Akashic records and connect with my Akashic record keepers, which are the group of spirit guides that are in charge of my records. And if I have any questions or need guidance for anything, opening my Akashic records is the perfect way to start my day in order to get those downloads, get those answers that I may need for maybe handling a personal situation or a business challenge or something else that's going on in my life. So after I've done all of the above, then I will make time to open my records, and I have a very special way that I go about doing that. And then I will ask questions and I'll write down the answers that I receive. Now, this is something that because I've been working at this for years, I'm able to do quite quickly and be able to get into the space pretty quickly. But it's something that I teach in my Akashic Records certification, my process, how I help you channel your own prayer. We're not using other people's prayers. You are channeling your own prayer to open your own records and create your own ritual around opening them, and how to have that back and forth connection, that spirit team download receiving system, that meditative intuitive guidance, how to do that, how to go about doing that. I teach all of that in my Akashic Records certification. It is the perfect morning routine practice to add to your list of rituals that is just absolutely amazing. So I'm going to leave the link for that below in the show notes so you can check out the certification. Of course, you can go into your own records yourself. You don't need me to teach you how to do it, but it can be helpful to listen to a teacher who knows what they're doing so that you know how to open the records, what it feels like to be in them, how to access the energy, how to ask questions, and how to facilitate healing for yourself and that back and forth dialogue with your guides. So I would love to support you with that. So I will leave the link for that information below in the show notes. If I have extra time during the morning, sometimes I do, sometimes I don't, I absolutely love to start my day with either a breath work video or a meditation video. Now, I am not a breathwork coach. I also teach the Akashic Records. I'm not really technically a manifestation coach, although I talk about it a lot. So for my breathwork piece, I will leave a link below for this as well. I am absolutely loving the videos that Breathe by Sandy creates here on YouTube. I'm going to support a fellow YouTuber and say that I love his content. His videos have changed my life. I try to do them a few times a week if I can. They really make a difference for me in my life, so I start a day with one of those. I also absolutely love MK Mindset for her manifestation and meditation videos. So if I'm not doing breath work, I'm usually starting my day with a meditation, and she has a ton of free meditations on her channel that I absolutely love. I also, if you want to follow my meditations from yours truly, because here's the thing, sometimes I listen to my own meditations, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I like to listen to other people's voices because I hear my own voice a hell of a lot. So I also have a whole meditation library as well that you can get if you join my membership. So I'll leave the link below for that if you want access to my meditations. Again, the only reason why I'm not doing my own is because I like to listen to other people. Sometimes it's me being fully honest and transparent with you. But if you would like to receive access to my library of meditations, I will leave the link below for that as well. So I will do some sort of breath work or meditation if I have the time. Once that's complete, my morning rituals are done. I get ready to move my body. So exercise for me is super, super important. It helps me feel good. It sets my day up for success. I right now am doing a mixture of I'm doing a mixture of low intensity strength training and Pilates and a lot of walking. I'm not doing any high intensity exercise or cardio. So I weightlift 3 to 4 times a week, and I go to Pilates once a week. I also try to get in 10,000 steps a day because I work from home and I sit here at this desk for hours every single day. So what I like to do is I will get to either the gym or my once a week Pilates class, and I typically spend about an hour there, sometimes a little bit more if I need it. I love strength training. I got certified as a health and fitness coach, a personal trainer during the pandemic because I love working with the body. So I know a lot about weightlifting, and I know for me that it helps me feel my best. It helps me feel strong. It helps me feel empowered and inspired during the course of a day, during the course of a week. It helps me move a lot of energy. As an energy worker, I need to be constantly moving energy through my body. So strength training really helps me with that. And I also love the Pilates piece to kind of mix it up so I'm not doing the same thing all of the time. It also is really good for core strength. And again, when you're sitting at a desk all day, your core strength tends to be the one thing that really falls by the wayside. So I want to make sure that I'm maintaining mine. And that also helps me with keeping up my weightlifting and making sure that I have a strong core in order to be able to move the amount of weight that I want to be able to move. So I do that, and then I also add on the walking a few times a week. Again, I'm making sure that I'm getting in those 10,000 steps a day, which may sound like a lot for a lot of you, but I'm naturally a very active person. I've always been that way, and it really helps me to get in those extra steps, especially, again, because I'm sitting all day. So I do my exercise, get my movement in, get my steps in. I come home, I have a nourishing breakfast, I get ready for my day, and then I embark on whatever my business journey is for that day, whether it be seeing clients, working on my website, filming content like this, creating content for Instagram, recording a podcast episode, getting on a collaboration call with a fellow spiritual entrepreneur, maybe even seeing you for a one-on-one session or a reading. And by the end of the day, I'm starting to feel a bit taxed because, again, I work with energy. So when I'm helping people throughout the course of the day, it can be a bit draining, if I'm being honest. Doing spiritual work for a living is not for the faint of heart because you are helping people with their lives. And I am on calls all day long, typically, or at least working on recording things, creating content for you guys all day long, which is a lot. So I know that I have to take care of myself at the end of the day in order to make sure that I am consistently feeling my best. So what do I do to do that? As soon as my day is complete, I set the intention to cut cords with all people that I have been with throughout the course of the day. I cut cords with my clients that I have seen. I also cut cords with them immediately after their session, but I also just make sure at the end of the day to cut cords with anyone that I've been with throughout the course of the day, physically or energetically. I repeat that energy clearing ritual I brought to your attention at the beginning of this video, where I call God Source into my body and ask to remove any negative energy, and then I shake it all off. Sometimes if I feel like I need extra support, I will either sage myself, use Palo Santo, or even copal resin, which is a really powerful incense that's great for energy clearing. And then I go on with the rest of my evening. And I do things that are really relaxing. So whether that be getting outside for another walk, that helps me fully ground into the body, doing more stretching, cooking a nourishing meal, or even doing something fun like reading a favorite book or watching a favorite TV show. I'm human too, so I'm also watching my Netflix shows, my reality TV. I enjoy it just as much as you guys do. And that really helps me just kind of return back to myself at the end of the day, shut off the day, shut off what my clients are going through, disconnect and detach myself from it. I also set boundaries with my client messaging. So my clients know that I only respond to them during certain hours of the day. So if they message me outside of those hours, I'm not responding at 11 p.m. I'm likely also not responding to your Instagram DM at 11 p.m. unless if I have the energy to be able to do so. I am also not checking my email when I am taking off for the night. So I really respect my boundaries with my time and my energy in order to make sure that I'm taking care of myself. Because as a business owner, if you're not respecting your own boundaries, you can quickly grow resentful of your time and your energy. And I also have to take off on the weekends. So I'm not messaging clients, I'm not doing sessions, I am not, creating things for my business on the weekends. I am resting, I'm doing fun things, playing with my inner child. Maybe I am doing breath work for myself, but I am doing it in a way that feels good to me. So having those boundaries between business and work and also my personal life and what brings me joy is so important. And I always make sure to do something small for myself during the course of the day or the week that brings me joy. Whether that be, again, watching a show that really authentically brings me joy, cooking a meal that brings me joy, exercise absolutely brings me joy, having a cup of tea like this one brings me joy, when I am doing things that really bring me joy throughout the course of the day or the week, it makes such a huge difference. So don't forget to take those little moments to really be present with yourself. If you're racing throughout the course of your day, I would really recommend that you take a moment during your day to relax, to just sit and be present with your cup of tea or whatever it is that you're drinking, and just take a couple of deep breaths. We don't need to race through life. Life is not a sprint, it is a marathon. And the more that we can be present and grounded in our reality, the better we are going to feel. So I hope that some of my tips today are helpful to you for living a more joyful life, for enjoying your spiritual practices a bit more if you've gotten away from them. This is your reminder to get back into them. It's also your reminder to find a routine that feels good to you. Just because what I've shared with you today works for me doesn't mean it's going to work for you or feel good to you. So you may really need to do some reflecting on, what does a joyful routine look like to me, and how can I allow that to unfold for myself in a way that feels good. So thank you for listening. I hope this helped you. Comment below if it did, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.